You think that Tyrannosaurus rex parachuting into the African savanna can dominate and break through the entire food chain, but you're wrong. They might become a luxurious feast for the Audubon family in the next second. You think that with their massive size, they can crush lion prides and hyenas to rule the savanna, but you're wrong again. The modern atmospheric oxygen levels and climate environment would first push them to the brink of suffocation. At this moment, deep in the Serengeti, with space distortion, this pair of Cretaceous twins falls into the wilderness. The newly hatched siblings are less than 1 meter long, weighing only a little over 10 kilograms, covered in sparse down feathers. In their genetic memory, the twins are born to rule. But in the first second of arriving in Africa, what greets the Cretaceous royalty is not submission, but an extremely deadly environmental mismatch and cruel physiological rejection. When the male tyrant opened its jaws to try to inhale, a sense of suffocation instantly tore through its respiratory tract. The ancient oxygen-rich environment no longer exists, and the extremely dry African air is like directly inhaling scorching glass shards for the ancient dual respiratory system, bringing endless piercing pain. The extreme heat causes the ancient body, in a transitional state between cold-blooded and warm-blooded, to fall into severe metabolic disorder. But a more deadly crisis immediately descended. A terrifying hunger that seemed to dissolve their internal organs erupted like a violent tsunami within the twins. The eyes of these ancient flesh machines instantly filled with blood and turned red, with thick saliva dripping in long strands onto the scorching sand. Driven by hunger, the twins dragged their oxygen-deprived and heavy bodies out of the grass, carrying the arrogance and brutality of ancient royalty, and began searching for their first meal of flesh and blood in the modern world. The first group of natives these Cretaceous tyrants encountered was a pack of large spotted hyenas. In the genetic memory of the ancient beasts, mammals were equivalent to mouse-sized creatures, only fit to be low-grade snacks burrowing in the night. The starving male cub, with bloodshot eyes, launched a mindless charge without hesitation. The male tyrant opened its underdeveloped jaws, let out a hoarse growl, and charged straight at the hyena pack. This was the first fatal mistake the twins made in the modern world. Modern canines, after millions of years of evolution, have developed terrifying agility and group tactical intelligence. In the eyes of this group of spotted hyenas, this clumsy bipedal oddity with a strange smell was nothing more than a harmless, moving piece of soft meat. Just as the ancient tyrant was about to bite its prey, the lead female hyena made an extremely nimble sidestep, using a very small turning radius to instantly move into the blind spot. Immediately, a piercing pain followed. The female hyena's sharp canine teeth had sunk deeply into the thigh muscle of the male cub. With a bone-crushing bite force of up to 1,100 pounds accompanied by a fierce tear, the ancient tyrant let out a painful scream. The female cub tried to turn back to counterattack and rescue, but fell into a hopeless deadlock. The other two hyenas would strike and retreat like experienced high-agility assassins, cruelly circling around and relentlessly exhausting the twins' strength. In less than 3 minutes, this war machine with the world's top genes had already sustained over a dozen deep wounds down to the bone. If not for the female tyrant's desperate cover, dragging her severely injured brother into the depths of a dense acacia thicket filled with sharp thorns, the lives of the two war machines would have ended within the first hour of their arrival. Huddled in the dark thicket, panting heavily, covered in blood, listening to the mocking growls of the hyena pack outside as a show of defiance. This was the first life and death lesson modern Africa taught the ancient overlord. In this unfamiliar era dominated by advanced tactics, arrogance equates to death. In the long years after healing, the twins faced a second wave of despair. This fallen royalty couldn't catch any healthy prey. When attempting to hunt Thompson's gazelles using the ancestors' short-distance sprinting method, the modern herbivore's acceleration to 70 kilometers per hour within 2 seconds left the ancient tyrant seeing only yellow streaks of dust, 10 leaps and 10 sprints, yet not even a whiff of the prey's trail. The straight-line explosive power, once a pride of the Cretaceous period, seemed clumsy like a rusty machine in the face of modern animals' extreme agility. Extreme hunger caused blood-red double vision, and high concentrations of stomach acid began to fiercely attack the mucous membranes. To quell the maddening hunger, the once top predators had to abandon their last shred of dignity. The twins scavenged like ghosts, picking at the vulture's leftover carrion, digging for dead fish in muddy pits, and even excavating the foul-smelling burrows of porcupines. The uncrowned kings of the Cretaceous lived in humiliation as the lowest scavengers, but when Africa,